Helldivers 2 took the world by storm when it was first released in early 2024. The world was captivated by its unique and chaotic nature, causing millions of people to join the fight for managed democracy. From the forests of Malevelon Creek to the hive world of Meridia, the Helldivers fought everything the mysterious Joel threw at them. Now, over a year from the initial release, the game has a much more empty feel to it, with player counts only maxing out around 40,000 with Steam and PlayStation 5 players. So, what happened to Helldivers 2? And is it still worth it to play in 2025? Today, we're going to find that out. But first, a word from our sponsor. It's me! It's just me. I've got 91 subscribers at the time of recording this, so of course I have no sponsors. Although, if you enjoy the video and you want more Cryptic Koala, leave a like, subscribe, and go check out my clothing store. It's loosely related to the channel. It actually has one t-shirt, I think, and maybe a sweatshirt too, with my logo on it. Well, if that's something you want to look at, feel free. It'd be really cool if you did. I also have a Discord you can join if you feel so inclined, and I sometimes stream on Twitch, so come on and hang out if you want to see more of me. Now, with all the shameless plugs out of the way, let's get back to the video. Now, where were we? Yes, the player count. While the player count for the game is at an all-time low, 40,000 is nothing to sneeze at. Many games would love to have that many people playing their game. Nonetheless, it's still a meteoric fall from grace in the last year. But why has this happened? There are a couple of factors that have led to the falling popularity of Helldivers 2. The first of which is the developer. While the developers have been very good about listening to the player base, they have been a little too eager a lot of the time. Not necessarily a bad thing again, but it just means you never know what you're going to get when you log in to the game at any given time. One day you could be one-shotting Hulks with the railgun, next day it takes 10. You never know. The other issue with the devs is there's only about 100 of them, and that doesn't compare to the crazy teams many of these AAA developers have working on games. Rockstar, for example, has over 4,000 people working on GTA 6. 4,000 is insane. Arrowhead only employs just over 100. I think it's 130 or 40. Arrowhead started making this game almost 10 years ago, and when it was released, there was still a bunch of bugs that had to be addressed. During the early days of the game, there's a lot of focus though on the new content that would come out, with only the few major bugs being addressed, which, I mean, come on, that's kind of how you gotta do it, otherwise your game's gonna fail. While in the short run this gave the community a lot to work with in terms of stuff and content, it affected them negatively with the bugs that were still prevalent. You still gotta deal with that. Soon, they would have to start releasing the war bonds slower to focus on the bugs. This led to the decrease of replayability, just not as much new stuff, and you kind of get stuck in the same thing. There's still war bonds being released up until this point, which it is roughly beginning of May 2025 when this video is being recorded. But they're taking about 6 weeks between each one now instead of the initial 3 to 4 weeks of the original war bonds. This is just the unfortunate reality of a small developer. Nothing they could really do, it's just how it's going to happen. The replayability of the game is another factor that has led to decrease in activity in active Helldivers. Well, there are a good amount of mission types that you can go on that do vary significantly, with there being 29 missions to be played on 10 different difficulties. 34 if you count the Illuminate, but at this time they have been defeated, so you can't really play those anymore. There's also a significant number of secondaries, but those tend to kind of just blend together. Every Helldiver has played each type of mission at least a few times, and many of them are very similar, leading to repeating mechanics. It has been a while since a new mission type has been introduced. I think the last one to be introduced, other than Illuminate missions, was the sort of like fortress holding base thing. Cool mission, but we need some new ones. It'd be a nice change of pace if they added a couple new missions. Another factor for the fall of Helldivers 2 is it just got old. And I mean, this happens with every game, except Minecraft, which, I mean, Minecraft will never get old. It just won't. This happens with every game, and I mean, it's just what happens. So, what can Arrowhead do to bring the game back to its former glory? Well, off the top of my head, one is to introduce a clan system. This one has been widely asked for by all over by a large part of the player base. And it would allow for more camaraderie and just general, hanging out on the game. Be a lot more fun. Making people want to play the game more just for, hanging out, I guess. I think it should be like, when you were to implement it, should be a large ship or a small space station that a clan leader has to pay for using either super credits or requisition slips. Or both, I don't know, you can do both to obtain. The main clan area would be like a large room that you can have members that can hang out in and all that kind of stuff, gossip about the war and whatever. And then there should also be clan missions where you can have up to like 16 people on a mission. And you can, within these missions, you can have clan specific, I say clan specific, they're in the clan system, stratagems that can be deployed from your clan ship or space station, depending on which one would be better. I don't know which one, probably ship, that would make a bit more sense. Though it's unlikely that it would happen, it's still something I wish they would do. Another thing they could do is introduce a whole slew of new missions, such as missions with a super fortress attack, like basically think of the mega fortresses but way bigger, and there's a whole bunch of secondary objectives within the base that you have to take out as basically a reverse defense mission. I think that would be a really cool mission, and they should do that. Another kind of mission they could add would be something like a Siege defense mission where you have to, your main objective, instead of it being a side objective, is you have to start like multiple Siege artilleries or multiple Siege SAMs and maybe a new one like a Siege machine gun emplacement. It's like a little bunker or something with a bunch of machine guns on it with a bunch of ammo and whatever. And I don't know, that'd be kind of fun. And I think the best way to do this would be an invasion of Mars or Super Earth, which an event like that would bring the game back to insanely popular numbers. We're talking probably well over 100,000 at that point. Even without new missions, it would do that. But I think the new missions would be needed in that kind of environment. With like a Super Earth and Mars sort of invasion situation, new modes would need to be added with like 8 to 16 players on like really big, larger maps. That would be awesome. As well as, the community's been asking for that. As well as missions with both bugs and bots. Not Squid anymore because they've been defeated, so we're going to kind of ignore them now. But with both members. So like think of it as on a mission, you're just fighting a Biotitan and you turn around and there's a Factory Strider right behind you that you got to take out. It's just complete and utter chaos. It'd be amazing. And new stratagems will also be a neat addition. However, we have a really good amount of stratagems at this point, so I don't think we really need any more. Maybe a couple more for some niches that need to be filled, but we really don't need that many more. I am going to be making a video soon on the new things Arrowhead should be doing, like adding to the game. So I'll go more into more detail on the clan system, new stratagems, new mission types, maybe even a new faction. We'll see. So how does this answer the question of the video? In the case of people who have never bought the game or, have just got it and are getting into it, I'd say stay. Keep playing it. Don't get burned out. That's the big thing. Same thing with the players are at 150. But the new guys, play it. Have fun. Get a good squad. Enjoy the game. The game is still great right now. it just, once you get up to those upper levels, it gets a little bit repetitive and it kind of is hard to play. And play with friends as well. Friends are a lot more fun. If you've grinded up to level 150, don't go too hard because you'll burn yourself out and you don't want to play it anymore when there's more to come. The lore to Helldivers 2 is not over, and it won't be over for, from what I know, quite a while. So, is Helldivers 2 worth playing in 2025? Yes, for the foreseeable future, as long as it is still receiving updates. I think Helldivers 2 is still worth playing. With that being said, pretty simple, I guess. With that being said, thank you for watching, and join the fight for managed democracy. Goodbye!